All right, Chill Pills, here we are again, diving into another certification exam prep calculation question. I want you all to look and really review these types of questions. You're going to see these questions formatted more so on your certification exam versus the other two we've already processed. Every time I see these types of questions, I actually freeze because there's a variable that's missing. And without that variable, it's hard to go to my trusted ratio proportion formula. And so I just freeze and I'm like, okay, well, how do I solve this question? I do not want you all to feel like that. I want you all to be overly confident in how to solve these types of questions. I really do freeze because the formula that the text and your study materials want you to memorize, I do not have it memorized. It's been several years. I cannot memorize this formula. I have all the information I'm going to have in my head. But I was able to solve this equation utilizing a different formula that I am much more comfortable with. And it was a long way around, but I still got the correct answer. So I want you all to know that you have the tools. It may not be the simplest tool all the time, but you do have the tools to solve these problems. So let's go ahead and dive in with the formula that the textbooks wants us to study. Let's read our question. A pharmacy receives an order for 480 milliliters of 10% boric acid. The pharmacy has boric acid 85% in stock. So how much diluent and stock solution is needed to compound the order? We're going to have to dilute our 85% stock solution down to 10%. We have a variable that's missing. Usually you would see this type of equation and you would think maybe an alligation formula, but we do not have the concentration of our diluent in order to perform a alligation equation. So the textbook wants us to utilize the formula total volume over dose on hand multiplied by dose order. Before we get that far, let's go ahead and identify our given information. The dose ordered is 10% boric acid. Our dose on hand, 85% boric acid. Our total volume needed when we finish compounding our order is 480 milliliters. You're more than welcome to place that 480 with your dose ordered. That is accurate. But in order to put our placeholders in our formula, just plug and play our given information into our formula, it's best to separate it this way. Now looking at our formula, total volume divided by dose on hand multiplied by dose ordered. Let's see if we can insert a table. Total volume, 480 milliliters. Let me see if I can make that a little bit larger. Or a lot bit larger. Let's say 480 milliliters. There we go. Divided by our dose on hand, 85%. You do not have to add the percentage unit, but just so we're plugging and playing and we know which numbers we're utilizing, let's go ahead and add our percentage unit. So 480 divided by 85, and then we multiply it by dose order is 10%. That will yield 56 milliliters. Of boric acid, stock solution, 85%. Do we have that? Now to determine how much diluent is needed, because we need to determine how much stock solution and how much diluent is needed. So we've already determined we need 56 milliliters of stock solution, 85% boric acid. Now we need to determine how much diluent we need. We then take the formula total volume minus stock solution equals diluent. There's another phrase in your text and your study materials, places instead of stock solution. I'm going to just put stock because we've already solved for it. Or you say total volume minus your answer equals your diluent. So let's go ahead and still plug and play our numbers. 480 milliliters of total volume minus how much stock solution needed to compound is 56 milliliters. This will lead us to 424 milliliters of diluent needed to compound our product. And so you would look for those two answers on your certification exam under your multiple choice selections. Now, I cannot remember, I have not remembered, I will not remember this formula. Total volume divided by dose on hand multiplied by dose ordered. I'm repeating it so that you all will remember it because this is a much simpler formula. But I have a table listed here because looking at the question initially, I wasn't sure how to solve it. So utilizing what I had available to me, my given information, I plugged it into the table to see if I could perform an alligation equation. I mentioned earlier that it would be difficult for us where we wouldn't utilize an alligation equation or alligation formula in order to solve this problem because we are missing a variable. We have a higher stock solution. We do not have a lower stock solution. So it would be difficult to plug and play those values to get our dose ordered solution that the physician ordered. Yet if we read the equation again, just because we do not have a percentage for our diluent that we'll be using to compound to get our dose ordered solution, it doesn't mean that there isn't a percentage available. So if it was a specific diluent that is being utilized that has a concentration, that has a percentage, the equation would say it. The equation would give us that information. If the diluent was normal saline, which typically is either normal saline, sterile water, perhaps bacteriostatic water or alcohol, if it was any other diluent that had a specific concentration, the equation would notify us. It would give us that information. Being that it says diluent and we're to assume that the concentration of the diluent has no effect on our 85% stock boric acid, we can assume that the percentage is 0. So taking that assumption and placing it into an alligation equation, we would place our higher percentage on top, our lower percentage on bottom, and then our desired percentage in the middle of our tic-tac-toe table. Next, performing the alligation formula, 85% minus 10% yields 75%. 10% minus 0% yields 10%. Now you'll notice that my tic-tac-toe table is really long. And I have not utilized a table this long in previous videos and previous lessons or lectures, just because I want to show you all the way that I perform alligations utilizing this extra long table, just so that you'll see how the numbers flow and how you can follow the answers once you finish performing all the orders of operation, mathematical orders of operation. So now that we have solved for those alligation equations there, we will then add our parts. Oh, I keep doing that. They're not percentages. They're parts of our total compound. And so we will add the parts of our compound together. This equals 85. 85 parts total of our compound. And then we divide both of these parts by the total parts. Equals 10 divided by 85 yields 0.117. 75 divided by 85 yields 0.882. and then we multiply by our total volume. 480 milliliters, 480 milliliters, and this yields 56 milliliters up here, and this yields 424 milliliters up here, down here, excuse me. So following the table, our diluent with 0% will yield, we need 424 milliliters of our diluent with no concentration at 0%. Our stock solution of boric acid, we will need 56 milliliters following across the table. I hope that looks very simple for you guys, or clean, so you can, again, follow the numbers, follow where the operations, where the equation takes you after you solve for your answers. And that hopefully will keep it clean so you understand, okay, that's the volume I need for this, that's the volume I need for that. That is it for this lesson. I hope you all will check out our next video. Please hit me up with questions in the comment section below.